Hey guys, Scott with G-Reviews here. Do you have one of these in your house? An old dirty outlet? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly how and the safely way, how to check and how to replace safely one of these electrical wall outlets. So again, today all I'm going to do is real quick replace them the safe way. And here's basically the stuff that you need to do it, right? So a new outlet, the device in the middle is a current tester. So it'll beep if it has current. And then on the right, obviously, you have the faceplate for the outlet. And, you know, more for convenience, I've got a power drill to just do the job quickly. So again, here I'm just going to show you real quick to test it. And then I'll go to my fuse box and actually find the fuse that does this outlet. So again, actually I'm using the Sunix light again that I just reviewed about a week ago. But again, just going to stick it back down here. So again, I'm going to turn on our tester. Right, so this is going to beep anytime there's current. So your negative is the larger prong and your positive is the smaller prong. So this is going to beep whenever you stick it in the positive. Right? So see how it's going off like that? That denotes there's current. Again, so both those outlets are working. Right? The negatives don't do anything. So what we're going to do now is we can either just leave that in there, or what we can do is you can just plug something that's electrical in there, and then when we go to the fuse box, we can have that turned, it'll turn off at that point. Alright, so here we are at our fuse box, and before I started this process today, all the breakers were all kind of in gibberish. So what basically what you have to do is you just have to basically turn them on and off until you find which one controls what. So I kind of already went through this a little bit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the tester back in the outlet, so it'll be making noise. And again, this one I've already seen, it says the fridge, so maybe that's on the same circuit, so let me go ahead and turn that off. Nope, okay, so that's not it, so it's still beeping. This is the dining room, not that one. Kitchen. Oh, so that was the microwave. Okay, there you go. So, strangely enough, and again, sometimes these things are a little bit weird, so the circuit breaker that is controlling the dining room is also, for some strange reason, controlling one of the outlets in the kitchen. So again, we just turn that off again. If we turn it back on, you'll hear the tester in the background. So again, just going to flip that off. Right, so now there's no current. Okay, guys, so again, we're back over to the outlet itself. So obviously the thing's not beeping, so we're pretty much good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Phillips head bit out of there, and I'm going to put in a flathead bit so I can go ahead and take this guy off. Okay, so I'm just going to take the faceplate off first. Take that old nasty thing out. And again, I mean, I have no idea how long it's been since these things have been replaced. So once you take the faceplate off, you've got two screws. You've got one screw at the top and one screw at the bottom. Normally, you know, well, not normally, but depending on how they install them, they could have paint all over them, so sometimes you actually have to take paint out of the outlets. So just kind of bear that in mind. I'm just kind of trying to take the paint out. So this one came out fairly easily. And again, you always want to make sure the current's off because these things can shock you pretty good. Okay, so now that it's out, we have 3 wires that are coming out of it. Black one is typically going to be a positive. So I don't know if you can really see that one, but the one on the right, this black one, is the positive. And we have 2 wires on this side. This one's a negative, which is the white wire. And then we always have a ground, which typically doesn't have any kind of heat shrink or shrouding on it. So the bottom one's the ground. So we'll go ahead and, again, kind of take those apart. And again, the new one is going to have quite a few markings on it as well. And again, I'll go ahead and show you. Let's see if we can. So you've got your outlet. You've got 4 different screws. If it's kind of hard to read it, but this side says hot wire. So these gold-looking ones are going to be where you're going to attach your positive to. This side's going to be the negative, and then we have the green, which is the ground. Why do we have 4 screws? So that, for example, sometimes you wire these things in series or in parallel, meaning the power goes to one electrical outlet and then there's multiple other electrical outlets in a certain room. And in that case, you would wire like a positive, negative, so that will go into this switch and then also out of this switch. And that'll continue the electricity to the other outlets, just as a little FYI there. So we'll go ahead and kind of start to put this thing in. I'll just put this over here. So again, all I'm doing is just unscrewing the old wires. Typically it doesn't really matter what order you do it in. And so I just did the negative first, so I'll go ahead and attach that same wire to the new switch. All you gotta basically do is kind of go around, just wrap the wire around the screw, screw it in, make sure, again, you want the wire to be in, like in these little channels. So you want the wire to be in these little channels where the metal is, because the more contact, the better connection you're gonna make. Oop, see, like that. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that this is wrapped around enough so that it really, it stays there. You can always straighten them out. These new ones have this basically like quick connect feature, and actually we'll go ahead and demonstrate that because they're pretty convenient compared to wrapping it around and screwing it and all that kind of stuff. So next to all of the screws, there's also a little hole. And what you can do with that is you can just stick the wire right in that hole. So we were normally going to wrap this wire around this screw, but we'll go ahead and put the wire right in that hole. And as long as... Alright, never mind. I guess it's too big, so scratch that plan. We'll go ahead and just wrap this guy back around. Make it so that it'll go on there easy. Alright, that should be better. There's more wire wrapped around that screw now, so let's go ahead and try that. Oh well. I guess I'll have to get a new extended drill bit. Alright, last but not least. Go ahead and unscrew this guy. And screw in the new wire. The old wire, but the new spot for it. Good, it looks pretty solid. Alright, so now at this point, you can either A, you can test the outlet, or B, you could just go ahead and screw it back in. Either way, I mean, as long as those wires stay put, they should be okay. So we'll go ahead and just put this thing back in the box. These wires are really stiff, so sometimes it can be a little bit of a challenge to put it back in the box. But it's got to go in there at some point. So what sometimes I'll do is when I'm trying to put it back in there, you grab the box with the vice grips so it won't go back that far. Because that can be an issue sometimes. It's just trying to... So hopefully at this point we can try to get those screws to grab the box. That's how you, alright, great. That screw grabbed. Let's just have this one grab. Alright, great. They both grabbed. So now, again, should be good. Let's go ahead and just screw this in a little bit more, just so it's nice and tight. Oof. And sometimes the drywall is very brittle around these things, so you don't want to screw it in too much. But alright, so now that thing's finally back in, we'll go ahead and turn our tester back on. Right, so now it should be on. I'll go ahead and put it in the positive. Go ahead and flip the switch back on. Alright, success. So that's basically how to change outlet. Obviously we'll go ahead and put the faceplate back on. Yep, both outlets are working. Again, we'll go ahead and take this faceplate out of the bag. And this faceplate's real simple. It's just one screw. Just one flathead screw. I'll go ahead and just stick that on top of there. This thing. You want to be as delicate as you can with these screws, because these screws are painted on here. And obviously the whole point of replacing this thing was that it aesthetically looks good. So just try not to be too rough with it, because that can scratch the paint on that screw, and also it can damage the faceplate as well. So you try to just be as delicate as possible. But that's it, guys. I mean, that's the whole process to change a standard electrical outlet. I might do another video on replacing GFCI outlets, or ground fault something interruption outlets, which are like close to sinks and things like that. But that's Skyward Gear Reviews. Again, if you guys want to see more how-to videos, just let me know. I'd be happy to do them. It is fun for me. I do enjoy doing them. So if you have any questions, comments, please like us, subscribe to the channel. And if you have something that you want either reviewed or maybe a how-to video, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.